Hello, and welcome to AI Powered Solution for a Business Challenge by Justin Watkins. Um, Here for Triple Ten, being a student. This is our first project, and I want to cover things in depth over a video rather than try to explain my reasoning, my thinking through just a slide document. Um, and I figured that might be easier just to give you a better understanding where I'm coming from as far as solving uh, this problem or doing potential project. Because when I look at a problem, I look at everything all together, and when I do, I can implement solutions into those problems to figure out where things have gone wrong. And so I wanted to take this video to show you exactly what was going through my head as far as how everything goes. So, starting with the legend for the flowchart. So the legend shows green is human-driven task. If it's yellow, it's AI-driven task. If it's red, it's a risk. If it's blue, it's a benefit. And those are referring to sticky, excuse me, sticky notes. The customer relationship management log is orange, and the inquiry type is black. So um, any of these gray things are gray sticky notes, excuse me, are just things to consider, or just additional information on why that why this particular solution is occurring. And so, starting from receiving an inquiry via the email and phone calls, website contacts, social media forms. So all that was being logged into the CRM system. However, it was being manually logged in by customer service reps, and because of that, that was one of the bottlenecking points that was slowing down the CSRs from properly responding uh, to the issues that they needed to focus on. And since they did that, it was driving up a lot of time and making things just again get bottlenecked. So my solution for it was when the uh, when the inquiry is logged into the system, which would be AI driven to log it into there and to uh, help sort out low priority tasks, high priority tasks, medium priority tasks. It informs the customer that their inquiry has been logged. When their inquiries have been logged, uh, that essentially goes into the review for the human-driven supervisors who review the tickets and assign to appropriate CSRs. So upon this, though, it branches off into two different sections. And so with this, the AI-driven automations help with lower priority requests that supervisors approve, and the reason being is because if it excuse me, if it is something that the AI can handle, such as like a tracking order number, well, AI can handle that and free up the CSR to investigate more moderate to high risk or severe tickets. Um, that way, the CSRs can focus direct on what the actual problems are that they need to address. And so, if it's a low priority task, supervisors review it, approve it, and send it to the AI automation for approval for them to fix that. Now, the risk with that is some tasks might be represented as low when they could actually be a medium or high risk. So that could be a risk using the AI for that type of portion to help sort that out. And again, that's going to be more in retrospect to like a big company. If you have like 95% of this flow chart being correct, and the other 5% is the risk with that being some low priority tasks are being uh, or actually medium risk, but they're being flagged as low. That could be the only drawback to it. Um, Essentially, though, the benefit is that it helps AI helps free up the task for low level requests from CSRs. Excuse me. CSRs. That way, the CSRs again can focus on the moderate to high risk task. And then if supervisors review it and send it over to a CSR, the CSR investigates the problem and determines that the problem needs to be escalated to other departments in the business. And then this was also a bottlenecking point because at this point, CSRs were having to notify the customer that, hey, it's reached me now and I have the complaint and I'm currently looking into it. They would have to acknowledge the customer and tell them that. Well, the AI solution shown below in blue sticky note is where AI can free up that CSR. And so I'll display that here just in just a second. I'll continue on with this portion, this branch off portion. So if it gets determined that it has to be sent into another department, then the CSRs will consult with somebody like IT if they need to address like a particular technical issue, and then they can work it from there. Coming back to the AI-driven portion, though, if the once the CSR gets that task, he or she can just click a button, just say, "Hey, I've received your request," and then the AI-driven chatbot just informs the customer that the problem is being looked into. There's the benefit of this is again allowing CSRs to focus on the problems direct and not having to spend time writing out emails to hundreds and hundreds of customers that are waiting for their task to be resolved. And so as far as a risk goes, there's not a risk to that because the benefit is sending out a notification that's saying to the customer, hey, we looked into your problem, we're currently looking into it now. Excuse me. And again, coming back to whether they consult with another IT department within the business or whether they solve it themselves and then send it to the AI-driven chatbot. That chatbot is going to inform the customer that their problem is being looked into, and so the CSR can still communicate to the customer. They can still contact the customer and say, hey, this is the solution that we have to your problem, and once that is agreed upon by both the CSR and the customer on how to solve the issue, that notification is still sent out there that, hey, it's been resolved. And so pushing that a little bit further, the AI-driven empathetic chatbot sends a notification saying it's resolved. In the CRM log, it is closed out, and then that goes into a AI-driven empathetic chatbot that talks about the customer survey, and that's where you receive feedback on how the experience went as a customer. And so with this, some of the problems that I had in my older charts where it was a little bit hard to follow along. And so with this flow chart, going from a top to bottom rather than from a left to right reading was something that definitely made things a lot clearer. And that was one of the things I got into my feedback was just easier follow along with that. And so being consistent with the shapes, again, some shapes were like ovals and triangles and whatnot, and that can kind of draw people's attention away, so I just took it all to one format of just being squares all the way down, even the sticky notes, obviously. So as far as the processed, like the complaints that were processed and that needed to be addressed, what I did was I used Gemini to essentially summarize the complaint task for me from the Excel sheet and with that, it was able to give me a summary of, hey, these are what the problems was. Uh, these are what the problems are. And for the most part, the problems were just taking too long at the particular points I pointed out about a minute or two ago. Now, I did come up with a research for customer complaints and the summary of common issues that AI solutions will have with it. So, common issue was accessibility and wait times. The AI solution for that is implementing AI-driven chatbots to handle initial inquiries, reducing hold times, providing 24/7 support, use AI to predict peak times and optimize staffing. And so this is the list is bigger than what it is, and I won't go through all of it, but um, I'll slowly go through all this. That way, you can pause the video at some point and just take a look and see what all was addressed with that kind of feedback. And I'll have it included into the slide as well. As far as the additional information, one of the pieces that I wanted to talk about was things to consider was adding AI-driven customer support platform like Enjo that would help out because again, organization is going to help with a smooth workflow rather than have it be more chaotic or bottlenecked rather. And so that was also one of the other things I addressed. As far as proposed, let's see. As far as the structure of the presentation, easy to follow. This was definitely a lot easier, and I'll show you the old diagrams, which again will be included with the slide. But this was the new diagram. Well, let me start from the old diagram. So this was the old diagram. And again, left to right, different shapes, kind of takes the focus off of what you're doing just a little bit. But I mean, even if it takes it off just a little bit, that's still a little bit that you need your staff, stakeholders to kind of look at and be able to pay attention to. And so with the new diagram, I came up with this. And I said to myself, okay, I can insert sticky notes here so I can describe what I'm doing with each part of the process. But again, with this kind of format, it was a little bit harder to follow. So, and essentially, I came up with the information to create a workflow that was just top down, so you can know what the tasks were, what and where the task would start with, and essentially how it would work down into the current workflow for the chart. And so again, this chart was a lot easier to use with the top down. So proposed solutions being directly tied to the workflow itself, I got that covered with inputting not just only the sticky notes for saying what was a risk or benefit, but and additional information, but also saying which platforms were human driven, which platforms are AI driven, and in addition to that, essentially what I wanted to get across with the whole point was, and I know this said this in the readings earlier, you can't implement AI for every step of the way, and nor should you, because you want that human interaction in order for your business to be successful. Can you minimize certain aspects to help you out? Yes. And so where I implemented the AI, not restrictions, but the AI process was in the parts where CSRs were basically, I don't want to say it too much, but bottlenecked. And since they were, essentially the AI can help take over with at certain points throughout the whole ticketing process. AI can help out with creating that smooth workflow to say, okay, human, this is a human supervisor that's reviewing this. This is an email. This is a phone contact. This is a website contact, and then supervisors dole it out from there. And again, I won't cover everything from there, but just so you get the gist of the idea. The human-driven factors are pointed out. The AI driven automations are inserted into certain points of that to be able to help resolve certain issues. And so upon this, let's see, the updated workflow clearly expresses the steps that are being handled by the AI. Again, with the legend I have over here, and with what it says in the actual forms here for AI-driven portions, I did that to point that out, not only through a legend, but I did that to point it out on here just to say, okay, this is AI-driven, this is human-driven, this is where inquiries are, and just to kind of point out the easier part of the process. Anyways, I will upload this video link into the slides, and then you should be able to click on that. I will put it onto my YouTube page and label the playlist as educational workflows, something of that nature. But it should just link to the video direct, and then you can just watch it from there. So thank you for taking the time to review my project, and I look forward to your feedback soon. Thank you.